Hello, you guys. I've been wanting to do a top 5 or top 10 video for a while, so this is gonna be my first one. I'm sorry if I sound a little awkward because I'm new to this, so yeah. But in this video, we will be listing off the top 5 enemies that we encounter in the canyons of Arizona in the game Outlast 2. I will base the list off from least annoying to most annoying. So grab a snack and get comfy because this was actually pretty interesting. I loved making the script. Warning: this will contain spoilers for the game, so if you're planning on playing the game, I would suggest not watching this. At our number 5 spot, we have Sullivan Law. Sullivan Law goes by 3 other names: Father Noth, Papa Noth, and the modern Ezekiel. Although not an enemy we have to run away from, he is still an antagonist. Now, this man was estimated to be born in rather 1933 or 1937, with evidence saying, like, it's kind of mixed in between the two. But before he was known as the new Ezekiel, he was actually a shoe salesman in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But as a shoe salesman, he seemed to be having some financial troubles and was about to lose his property because of his large debts. Coming from his wiki page, Sullivan turned to a late night, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but evangelical radio station for solace, but it didn't help him. In the voice preaching against the evils of extramarital fornication, but while listening, he heard something underneath the static that he later preached was the voice of God. Bullshit. The voice expresses to Sullivan his dissatisfaction with the world and its churches, stating that he needs a brave new prophet. So Noth walked out into the darkness of the night and saw in the dark sky a vision like that of the prophet Ezekiel. The vision showed Noth a prophecy of Sullivan, who led a chosen few to paradise and saved them from eternal damnation before the end of days arrived. He then left his home and started preaching at the streets of Albuquerque, where he actually had a few believers, and under the stage of 3 years, he actually got dozens of followers, all of which donated their belongings to the Church of Noth, dubbed Testament of the New Ezekiel. They all lived at a ranch bought from the wealthy woman named Lydia Deegan, where Noth would continue to get messages from God, to which he put in a book called the Gospel, which we can find pages of all around the ranch. And they lived happily ever after. Except the fact where he killed all of his children and gut himself like a pig because a baby was born. And at our number 4 spot, we have the Heretics. The Heretics are one of the antagonist factions in Outlast 2. The faction is led by an ugly and disgusting Val. Now, as Lynn, the main protagonist's girlfriend, is carrying the seed of the Antichrist, the Testament of the New Ezekiel believe they need to kill the baby and or Lynn to stop the apocalypse from happening. While the Heretics believe the Antichrist should be born, they live in the mines in a certain mountain in the canyon, much like the creatures in the movie Descent, which I personally think they're based on. The Heretics are first seen in the game kidnapping Lynn while attacking Blake, the protagonist, right after Lynn had escaped from Noth's group. They then take Lynn to the mines to prepare for the Antichrist's birth. While Blake is on a raft crossing a river trying to get to the mines, the Heretics start harassing Blake by stalking him and throwing rocks at him. Once Blake reaches the mine, he is constantly being hunted by the Heretics in order to stop him. Personally, I think that the Heretics thought that Blake was trying to stop the birth. But once Blake, after entering the mines, Blake then stumbles upon a blood orgy of the Heretics, where he is sexually assaulted by the Heretic leader, Val. The orgy is then stopped by Noth's faction, and that is actually the last we ever saw of that faction. The protagonist takes Lynn and gets the hell out of there. At number 3, we have Laird Byron. Laird Byron is a deformed dwarf mounted on top of a man named Nick Tremblay. He is the leader of a group of diseased outcasts that were former members of Noth's group. The faction is called the Scald. He is not very hard to run away from because he walks very fucking slowly, which is why he's at the number 3 spot. He seems to think that Blake is a gospel and that has Blake crucified and buried. He is quoted by saying, "He will be nailed to a cross and die, and he will be buried, but he will rise again in more perfect flesh. We will eat of that flesh in holy communion and be healed of our physical sins. We shall inherit this broken earth." As Blake painfully leaves the cross, he is then captured by Laird again and thrown into a coffin, then buried alive, to which Blake breaks out again. From letters you find around the camp, you actually find out that Laird has been killing random members of the Scald, to the point where the members aren't very happy of that. So when Blake is sliding down a rope, when he reaches the bottom, the members of the Scald are seen pushing Laird off the ledge, plunging to his death, nearly killing Blake. And at our number 2 spot, we have Laudermilch. Laudermilch was a teacher at the Christian school that Blake, Lynn, and another character, Jessica, attended. When playing the game, it is implied that the teacher raped and killed Jessica by pushing her down the stairs, and staged it as a suicide by hanging her dead body, which is seen multiple times in the game. In the game, you can actually see that when exploring the school after school, the teacher asks Blake to leave as he wishes to talk to Jessica alone. Jessica pleads Blake not to leave her alone with him, but Blake leaves anyways. As he walks down the hall, in the dream sequence, you hear Jessica scream, and she yells at him to get away and that he's coming. When in the school dream sequence, the teacher is perceived as a horrific demon that when he catches Blake, it seems that he sexually assaults him. In my opinion, it just looks like it. In the shadow form of him, he seems to be making a masturbating motion with one of his hands.
Oh, hell no!
His demon form is also not only nude, but covered in blood, lipless, jawless, and noseless with a long tongue. He is truly and utterly disturbing. Before we get to the number 1 spot, I would like to mention an honorable mention, and that is the Testament of the New Ezekiel, Noth's faction. These guys are fucking everywhere. I already explained their backstory in Noth's entry. They were just people with no sense of direction and went to Noth to follow him in his prophecy. But they are fucking annoying, chasing you basically till they get you, not giving up, and they are constantly saying heretics while chasing you, implying that they think you're a heretic. Not only that, but they also say that you are the father, which could mean a couple of things, whether you are the father of the Antichrist or a father like a priest. And finally, at our number 1 spot, if you watch my gameplay, you already know who the fuck it is. It is Marta. And now Marta is actually feared by all members, even members of her own faction, because she kills regardless of their religion. She can even be seen killing random townspeople while preaching all the time. Not a lot is known about her background, but some is, so let's take a look at it. Now, while finding notes around the canyon, you find out that she was once intimate and close friends with the leader of the Testament of the New Ezekiel, Sullivan Law. Since her childhood, whom Noth states is his best beloved. It's mentioned that Marta's faith is considered imperfect. On a note in a shack that you can find, you find out that Marta views her murders as sins. She is actually unhappy taking the lives of people despite her beliefs. But Noth tells her that she may not even lift a finger and be considered a sinner in the eyes of God. He explains that Marta is trusted to perform a sacred duty of being witness, judge, and executioner, and that her murders are her path to salvation because she is getting rid of criminals before they commit their prophesied sins. And basically telling her that murder is bad, but her murder is getting rid of sinful people, which is good, before they even do the sin. As she was trying to stop Blake from delivering the Antichrist, she is impaled by a cross that the storm threw at her, which is probably, this is probably not true, but my theory is that Noth was led by a false god and was told to kill this child by saying it was the Antichrist and would bring the end of the world, when really it was rather the child of God, or God himself, or maybe just a child. And God sent this cross to impale Marta for not only her sins but trying to kill his child. Blake delivers the baby, to which it's a girl. Sadly, Lynn does not make it through the birth. With losing too much blood, she dies in the Church of Noth. Holding the baby, Blake wakes up to see Noth is sitting right next to him. He then kills himself, leaving Blake to walk free with his new baby girl. It is shown that Blake's status is unknown, so rather he is dead or he is still alive raising his child, hopefully far away from the desert of Arizona. What is up, you guys? You could tell that I was very awkward making this fucking video, and that's just because this is new to me. I have never made a top 10 and shit. But I really enjoyed making this video, nevertheless. Hopefully in the next video I sound not only louder, because I've heard that my speech was very low, but yeah, so hopefully I'm less awkward in the next episode. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and press the notification button so you get notified every time I post a video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
We make this right.